Amy and I, we are married now for 4 years, and we wanted to have a baby in the beginning. Our desire is to have a baby and enjoy as a family together. But this didn't happen very easily, and our biggest joy and excitement when Anna Christina was born in 2006. A week later, after her arrival, we realized that something was not right about her, and so we went to the doctor, and we were told by the doctor that she has a heart murmur and low muscle tone, and she would recommend that we run a test for Down syndrome. So soon after the report that we got from the genetic center, we asked the question, like it's a very common, very natural question to ask, I think. How come this happened to us, and why this happened to Anna and to us as a family? Uncertainty was one of the issues that I had to struggle with, to know which direction we should go from here, and uncertainty about the condition that Anna has, and uncertainty for us as a family, because our plans were a little bit different in the beginning. So we had to struggle with that uncertainty. But God was encouraged me and spoke to my heart that we need to focus on from the question why this happened to us, and the uncertainty and the anxiety that we experienced during that time, to focus on what now, which relies on God's plan for us, and trust in God's plan and God's hands for our lives.
And I really believe it was God's sovereignty even in this, that we didn't know initially that Anna had Down syndrome. Nobody picked up on it, amazingly. It wasn't until a week later, after we had had the opportunity to bond with our daughter and to really have some special time with her, that we went to the doctor, like Florine said, and there was that suspicion. And the neat thing is how the Lord also, the cardiologist that we saw on the Monday, a week and a half after her birth, was a Christian, and he said to us, you know, I'm about 90% sure that she has Down syndrome because I see a lot of children. He said, I know this is not what you dreamed for. I know this is not what you planned for your life, but God is not surprised. God chose you, Amy, and he chose you, Florine, to be Anna's parents, and he chose Anna to be your daughter because he knew that she needed you and you needed her. And so many times I've gone back to that, what he said, and it's so sweet of the Lord to have him say that, because it's true, and that was just the beginning of our journey. We can look at that as, you know, that was the final thing because we found out she had Down syndrome, but, you know, our journey continues, you know, as she grows and matures, and it's important for me to go back to that, you know, God is not surprised. God was not surprised. And he chose you, Amy. Even when you feel very inadequate to be Anna's mom, even when I feel like, gosh, am I doing enough to, you know, help her grow and progress as she should? Even when I think, gosh, I should have done this earlier or this, you know, I have to go back to, you know, God chose you to be her mom. Not because I can do it in and of myself, but because this is an opportunity for me to trust in God and realize that I can't do it myself.
But our prayer was to have a child, and this child to be used by God by reaching out to international students, and that is our ministry. And I think God knew very well when He gave us Anna that she's probably the best fitted person for our ministry and the plans that He had for us and our journey. We understand that Anna is living in a different dimension of life where she is less burdened by anxiety and perhaps live a life of more simplicity, in a life of simplicity and love.
It's a constant journey. It's a constant path of God not doing what I plan. My plan for my child is that she, even with Down syndrome, that she develop exactly like a typical child. And she's actually doing very well, and we're thankful. But at every point, God might interrupt that and say, this is really my plan. It may not be that the American dream of your child making straight A's and going to college and having all this, but God has a different plan for Anna. And as Florine said, she is in a different dimension of life in terms of, what is most important. It makes you look at what is most important in life. Is it that your child excel in sports and excel in grades, or is it that your child is happy and your child loves God and loves people? And that has really come down to what we pray for Anna, that she's happy and that she loves God and she loves people. And we've really seen how, even in her young life, how God has used her to draw people. I mean, she has such a sunny personality. She's so cheerful and smiling, and people just love to be around her. And the students that we work with, it's such a natural bond to them because she just reaches out to them and she loves them and accepts them, even though they're from another country, another culture. She's very accepting, and so we're really thankful that, this wouldn't have been what we chose, but God ordained it because she is the perfect child for us. She is the perfect answer to our prayer, and, we can't imagine our life without her now.
Hello, we are the Palagias.
And this is our journey story.